Cool. You know, we've talked about this before, that a lot of the things that we go through this year is the first time. You know, it'll be the last time that it's the first time. And, you know, we're going through the first time right now, a 2-game losing streak. We've lost 2 in a row. We lost our first game at home, and, you know, we came back yesterday and really tried to scrub out that game versus South Carolina State, and we'll get at it today in practice.
Coach, how's the team responded after, a tough loss, obviously, the other night? And what's been the attitude? What have you said to them? How do you think they'll respond?
You know, I think we'll respond well. I hope we will. They were great yesterday in film. We were very honest. I think we're a very transparent program in terms of we go in there. I told the guys, we're not coming in here just to make everything better and feel good. I said, I can't do that. I said, we got to be honest. We got to look at the film. We got to look at each individual and what we did as a team also, and say where we have to be better, and then face that and get better. And we started that yesterday, and we'll do that more today in practice. As far as how we'll respond, I feel like we've responded well before. Early in the season, whether it was not playing so well in the first half, responding in the second half. We lose to Indiana State. We don't make free throws in that game, and we lose a game to a really good ball club, and we come back and we win 2, back-to-back last week. And now, again, we're going through this for the first time. We've lost 2 games in a row, including a home game, and, now that's the challenge.
I know you don't want to give away too much of the game plan, but it seems like the games y'all have had the most success is when y'all picked up full court or 3-quarter court. Do you see kind of transitioning back to that more?
You know what? It's not that we tried to go away from it, but here's what happens sometimes when you play teams that really play for ball handlers, and anybody can take the ball out. And obviously, if we're not scoring, or we're turning the ball over, or we're not getting to the free throw line the way that we had been one of the top teams in the nation getting to the free throw line going up into the South Carolina State game. I think in the South Carolina State game, I don't think we shot a free throw in the second half. And I think we shot very few for the game. So the point being is, if we don't have an opportunity to get into our full court pressure, and again, I've said this before, it's not a press, it's just full court man-to-man defense. If we can't get into it, it poses some issues for us. And when you play teams like Hampton, South Carolina State did, Indiana State did, teams like that, sometimes they have anybody take the ball out and they're just moving it quickly. And when you play a team like that, it is much harder to get set up in a full court defense, even on a made basket. So the plan is never not to be in a full court defense. It's just a matter of, can we execute it or not.
Anything special about playing Friday night? Kind of unique. I don't remember a lot of ECU basketball games on Friday night here in Greenville.
Well, it's definitely my first Friday night game in Greenville. I don't know. I've been a part of Friday night basketball before, different times of year, particularly in the preseason, and in terms of non-conference games. So, I'm excited about it. It's exciting that we get a chance to get back on the court. I've said this before, Troy. You and I have talked. Love to have another day of practice. I think you always want this time of year, especially coming off of that long road trip to Florida, where I felt like the lack of repetition, lack of practice for a younger team going into Old Dominion, and then having really one day of prep for South Carolina State. Coaches would rather have another day of practice always, but the schedule is what it is, and excited about Friday night and being at home.
Not unusual for coaches to lose their voice a little early in the season. Perhaps you doing anything to try and heal up with that?
A big bottle of honey upstairs. I'm just guzzling on you.
How does final exam week affect the players and their preparation?
Yeah, that's a great point. Sometimes we lose sight as we just look at that 2-hour block of that game, and that's obviously what we're all evaluated on in terms of the wins and losses and the results there. But the guys got a lot going, whether it be practice, whether it be taking care of their bodies, whether it be academics, most importantly, and getting ready for finals. So, this stretch of 4 games in 6 days through the Old Dominion game, then a couple days play South Carolina State, couple days play Campbell, and then we get back on the road right prior to finals for next week. Yeah, it's definitely a challenging stretch. As far as their preparation, it doesn't change what we do, but I think as coaches and as educators, we have to be cognizant of what they're going through on and off the court.
What did you see from Campbell so far? I know they're 4-3. They've played some smaller teams, but they've also played some bigger teams as well.
Yeah, no, they've had some really great wins. They've had some great wins. They a huge win the other night versus Stetson, who's a really good basketball team. They played NC State really to a possession game on the road, and very realistically could have won that game, and probably in their minds they would say they should have won that game. So point being, this is a really good ball club. Coach McKeegan has done an incredible job with their program. They're shooting 38% from 3. Coach Clemens is a dynamic guard. They have 2 very skilled post players. They run a very unique offensive system that I know is very well known, but they are extremely efficient scoring. You know, in the half court, they will push the ball in transition much more than people think. So this is a really, really good ball club that's won games and lost some close games, and you know, we'll be really tested tomorrow night.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
man.
Have a good one.
Appreciate it.